Righty-do. Think we are starting. Hope you guys can hear me. Just play our ritual of Halloween theme music for Halloween 2. Okay, that was fire. But yo! Okay, hello everyone. Happy Thursday. Good to see a couple of people already here. A big thanks for following, mate. Really appreciate it. This is pretty big for me, right? Every follow is like a big thing. I was thinking about it yesterday that I never used to understand when a lot of YouTubers used to ask, hey, give us a follow and all those stuff. But now that I'm doing it, right? Every single follow is like such a big thing. It shows like somebody's appreciating what I'm bringing to the table. Somebody's appreciating me. So thank you so much for that, right? God fear in Bimch. I like that name. How did that name came up? That's pretty cool name. Let's see. Hello. I like that name. I like that. That's dope. How did that name came up, man? God fear in Bimch. Like that. Thank you so much, man. It makes a lot. Like I was actually like when I saw a bunch of people join yesterday, were talking in the chat. It was pretty emotional for me because it was like somebody's appreciating. You know, when as you are a kid, you do good in a test, right? Like just writing ABCD for because I raised Catholic. Okay, nice. Nice. Love Catholics. I have a lot of Christian friends. This headphones you see was by my friend Mitch. He's Catholic. He gave me on Christmas. I was so happy. It was a great Christmas. I love celebrated. So, like I was saying, right? Like when you are a kid, right? You do ABCD 1, 2, 3, right? That's not big for a big like a adult, but as a kid, if somebody says good job, that shows because at your level you are doing great, you are trying to bring everything on the table, and that means a lot. So every single follow, every single message you give, every single like, it means a lot. So thank you so much. Like it means a lot to me. That's all I can say. But yeah, let's get into this. I had a couple of people today mention about job sector, how to get a job, because I was in a couple of group chats. They mentioned about like in IT, they are trying to either practice to get a job, like if preparing for interviews and stuff. So I have a question for you. Do you want me to create on the weekend, create a stream instead of about hacking, talk just about how to get a job in IT in general? What should be the steps? What should be your mentality and the mindset specifically, how you should deal with that? If you would like me to do that, I would love to. help you out in that case, right? But if you want me to do hacking, like usual, we'll do that. But let me know if you want me to do that, and I would love to create a proper PowerPoint presentation, make it available to you guys, and have some pointers on how to do it. Because when I applied, right, it's been like I have been in job for 3 years now in the job market, and I'm able to get interviews. I'm able to get like past a bunch of barrels which people, I think that would be a good idea. I'm not in IT sector. Anyone who might be find it helpful though? Yeah, I was thinking I'll do that. So even with, if not in IT, I will try to create, it's like creating a good theory, right? I read this book. It's, I think I might have it here. Give me 1 second, I'll show you. Okay, let me show you some great book on why I talk about theories. This book, if you read, it's chapter 1 and 2, right? It will give you an idea. The book is called How to Measure Your Life, right? This guy, right? These people are from Harvard, if I'm not wrong. He said a good theory is like time, right? It doesn't decay, and it is applicable to everyone. And so I can, even if you're not in IT sector, if you don't mind me, let me know what sector you are in. Maybe I can test my theory before I bring it up. But I will create it like more like a theoretical steps, like so you can implement it in like baby steps, and it can help you get either if you're stuck in your current job or to a newer job. Let me know, because I have been able to find good jobs. I've been able to clear a bunch of good interviews. I had opportunity, and I was able to clear the resume and like even go the interviews, couple of rounds for Amazon. Fortinet, if you know, don't know Fortinet, that's basically the biggest, second biggest, not Fortnite, Fortinet. This company is, I think, the second biggest one in my opinion when it comes to cybersecurity after FireEye, and third biggest after FireEye and CrowdStrike. So if you guys like, right, I can give you that. I got an IBM, like the resume and like a couple of interviews. So if you want that, I would love to help you with those things. But yeah, let's not like I can go over for hours because I learned a lot while doing it. I read books, so I can provide that if you like, and probably in future let me do that. Let me put a poll online and do it. But till then, let's get into our hacking, the main thing we are here for, SQL injection. As I mentioned yesterday, SQL injection is a very major topic. I don't know if you guys follow these reports, OWASP, top 10, SQL injection. SQL injection has been there since like it's number 3 basically now. 2021 it was number 3. What this means is the third most biggest problem when it comes to computers, websites in general, and it has been there since 1998, right? 1998, that's like 26 years now. Still we don't, 26, 27 now, 26, it was at the end of 1998, so 26, 27 years now, and it's still like a lot of your developers who are building their applications, they don't check for these things, and it's hard to check. There are a bunch of ways to do SQL injection, so it's hard to check. So if you are going into bug bounty, or if you want to hack for good reasons, ethical reasons, this is a great thing to learn. And like just like that, let's get started into our big one today, the big boy. And this is also our last what's this called, room for intro to web hacking learning path. So I'm excited to move to next one, which is also again bug bounty burp suite. Now let's get started. Brief task 1, SQL, structured query language injection. SQL injection, mostly referred to as SQLi, is an attack on web application database server that causes malicious queries to be executed. When a web application communicates with a database using input from a user that hasn't been properly validated, there runs the potential of an attacker being able to steal, delete, or alter private and customer data, and also attack the web application authentication methods to private or customer areas. What that means is, let's say if I'm able to do SQLi attack on a web server or a web application, I can basically have access to the database then. And with database, if you know, there is not that good authorization in place. They are like outside, you want to create authorization as much as possible because inside they don't have that good one. And if I have access to it, I can delete all the data. I can get all the data on. This is how a lot of, if you go on dark web, Tor websites, you will find a bunch of breaches because of these things, because they have access to databases. This is why SQLi is one of the oldest web applications vulnerabilities, and it can also be the most damaging. In this room, you will learn what databases are, what SQLi is, with some basic SQL commands, and how to detect SQL vulnerabilities, how to exploit SQLi vulnerabilities, and as a developer, how you can protect yourself from SQL injection. So let's get into the room. What SQL stands for? Structured Query Language. Let's go. Our data 9. Let me just check. No more messages. Cool. So what is a database, right? Hopefully you guys already know a bunch of this. Database, if you are not used to working with databases or exploiting them, there's probably some new terminology to get used to. So let's start with some basics of how databases are structured and how they work. What is a database? A database is a way of electronically storing collections of data in an organized manner. Database, in my opinion, think of like a bunch of tables connected together, right? That's what database is. At least like a SQL, like a relational one. There are non-SQL one where it's like you are storing your images and all those stuff. But not much to know, right? Let's just read for the sake of it. A database is controlled by a DBMS, Database Management Server System. So, which is the acronym of Database Management System. DMSs fall into two camps, relational and non-relational. The focus of this room will be on relational databases. Some common ones you will come across are MySQL, Microsoft SQL Server, Access, PostgreSQL, and SQLi. We'll explain the difference between relational and non-relational databases at the end of the task. But first, it's important to learn some new terms. Within a database management system, you can have multiple databases, each containing its own set of related data. For example, you may have a database called shop. So the whole database, like there are tables have records, there are a bunch of tables. When all those bunch of tables are combined together, that's called a database. So we have the database of shop. Within this database, you want to store information about products available to purchase, users who have signed up for. So this purchase is a table, users who have signed up for online shop, another table, and information about the orders you have received, another table. So 3 tables: purchase, user, orders. You would store this information separately in the database using something called tables. The tables are identified with a unique name for each one. You can see this structure in the diagram below. But you can also see how a business might have other separate databases to store staff information or account teams. So basically we have our server. One is the shop one, which have users, product, orders. Other one will be staff. Users, basically all the staff members, information about them, audit. Account. So accounts, customers, orders, payroll. Now these tables can be connected. Just because they are in different tables doesn't mean they cannot talk to each other. Remember that. What are tables? A table is made up of column and row, just like an Excel, right? Excel is kind of a database. Not the best one, but it is kind of a database, if you want to imagine. And a bunch of workbooks inside it are basically different tables. To imagine a table is like a grid with columns going across the top from left to right, containing the name of the cell, and rows going from top to bottom, with each having one actual data. So this is one column. These are the columns 1, 2, 3. ID is a column, username is a column, password is a column. 1 John pass 1, 2, 3 is a row. Columns. Each column, better referred to as fields, has unique name per table. When creating a column, you also set the type of data it will contain. So basically ID will be a number because it's like, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Username, string. So it can have like numbers, names, even like dash a lot of time. Same with passwords, you can have like certain, things set up. Common one being integer, string, standard text, and dates. Some databases can contain much more complex data such as geospatial, which contains location information like your Google Maps. Setting the data type also ensures that incorrect information isn't stored, such as the string hello world being stored in a column meant for dates. If this happens, database server will usually produce an error. A column containing an integer can also have an auto increment feature enabled, like for the IDs, right? When, let's say if you are in a university, you have ID student 1, the next one you create, you don't have to give it an ID. Database will already give you the ID. You just have to say, hey, add another ID, and these are the rest of the user, the student name, student date of joining, the degree they are doing, stuff like that. This gives each row of data a unique number that grows increments with each subsequent row. Doing so creates what is called a key field. So ID, a key field, because all these, right, in username, John can basically be used multiple times. Passwords can be same, right? But ID, that's different. So it's called the key, a unique key, primary key, those words. A key field has to be unique for each row of data, which can be used to find the exact row. So if I want to say, hey, let's say if I'm on Facebook, right, my ID is 123 in their table. So when I log in, they don't have to search who is Gaurav Satija, which all like censored hacker, right, for Twitch. They don't have to search for usernames or where is censored hacker. They will say, okay, this is his ID. Let's look at this row. That's how it works. And it makes it very easy. Rows. Rows or record contain individual lines of data. When you add data to the table, a new row record is created. When you delete data, a row record is removed. Relational, non-relational databases. It's pretty simple. A lot of people think it's very hard. Let me explain to you, right? A relational database stores information in tables, and often the tables share information between them. They use columns to specify and define the data being stored, and rows actually to store the data. So basically a relational database, I will tell you, is like more like Excel sheets, right? A bunch of Excel tables, and all the worksheets somehow are connected to each other based on the unique ID, right? So for example, I have ID here. This ID value will be referred to in a different one, like profile pages, right? Or the account number, stuff like that. So that's relational. There is relations between tables. The tables will often contain a column that has a unique ID, primary key, the one ID we're talking about, which will be then used in other tables to reference it and cause a relation between tables. So there is relation between tables, right? And that's why the word suggests non-relational, sometimes called NoSQL. On the other hand, are any sort of database that doesn't use tables, columns, or rows of data, right? So for example, if you open your, let me open something, right? Let's say if I have TryHackMe, right? This is technically a database. There are no like IDs to it. It just has names, right? There is no relation between one another. These are just data. So that's what like this non-relational database is. It's like kind of your folder. It's NoSQL, right? Are any sort of database that doesn't use tables, right? Directories doesn't use tables, columns and rows to store data. A specific database layout doesn't need to be constructed, so each row of data can contain different information, giving more flexibility over a relational database. Some popular databases for non-relational databases are MongoDB, Elasticsearch, and Cassandra. This is by, I think, Apache. Now, let me give you the example of what this non-relation base is, right? We talked about this database, right, for me. Right, you guys can see all the information anyways. But let's say here, these, right? It doesn't say whether the file has to be a PNG, whether it has to be a Photoshop, or whether it has to be a directory or another folder. It basically says, hey, there will be data inside, and the direct folder one will have more. So that's what non-relational database is. It's like there is no relation, there is no structure. That's why it's called NoSQL, no structured query language. So there is no structure needed. Now that you have learned what a database is, let's learn how we can actually talk to it using SQL. So hopefully that makes sense. If it does, give me a thumbs up. We'll be happy. What is the acronym of software that controls the database? Database Management System, DBMS. What is the name of the grid-like structure which holds data? So in our rows and columns, what they become? A table. Let me just check the chat. Okay, cool. Let me know if you guys have any questions, right? After every task I check it, or in between. So let's get into this. What is SQLi? Oh, before I forget, I forgot to mention what the link of this is. So here, right? Cool. So SQL is feature-rich language used for querying databases. So if you want to get data out of a database, this language is what you use. Just like you are talking to human, right? You want to get information, this is how you do it. Just like on Google, you type. Google is technically a database, right? So in databases case, this is what you use. These SQL queries are better referred to as statements. The simplest of the commands which we'll cover in this task is used to retrieve select. Like you use the select command to retrieve information. There's update command to update, insert to insert, and delete to delete data. Although somewhat similar, some database servers have their own syntax and slight changes to how things work. All of these examples are based on MySQL database. Excuse me. After learning these lessons, you will be easily able to search the alternative text online for the different servers. It's worth noting that SQL syntax is not case sensitive. What does that mean? If you don't know, if I type instead of users, right, I type capital U, S, and all the small caps for users, it will still work the same. It's not case sensitive. So it's not lowercase or uppercase sensitive. So let's talk about the first one, the major one, select. The first query type you will learn is select query, used to retrieve data from the databases. One sec, I'll just drink some quick water here. So let's say we have our database, right? And we have a table named users, like we were talking about the shop example. This is how I will retrieve information from it. Select star from users. And we can test these things. There is something called W3 Schools. Best website out there. Best website for learning SQL and other stuff. Here, you can do the same exercise. So if we have select from customers, we'll run our customer. We'll get our table, customer ID, customer name, and all those information. Because we have a table named customers in our database. Okay, one sec, wrong, yeah. So the first word, select, and I will post this before I forget. I forget things very easily sometimes. So here we go. If you want to learn Python, like, and a bunch of like good languages like even Java, HTML, SQL, W3 Schools, one of the best languages out there. I used it a lot during my starting days. The first word select tells the database we want to retrieve some data. The star, right, the asterisk, tells the database we want to retrieve back all columns from the table. So basically all the columns. For example, the table may contain 3 columns: ID, username, password. From users, basically this one, from users, tells the database we want to retrieve the data from the table name called users. Finally, the semicolon at the end tells the database that it is the end of the query. So you need to put the semicolon, or it will say, hey, there is the statement has not ended, and the database will still keep on waiting for your input. The search query is similar to the above, but this time instead of using the next query, Instead of using the star to return all the columns in the databases, we just retrieving the username and password field. So I don't know, I'm not interested in their ID. I'm just interested in their username and password. So I tell which columns I want to retrieve. I want username and passwords, right? So select, give me the information, which columns, username and passwords, from which table, users. It's more English. SQL is like, think about it as this. SQL is English without grammar. The following query, like the first, returns all columns by using star selector, and the limit 1 clause forces the database to return only one row of the data. Changing the query to limit 1 comma 1 forces the query to skip the first result, and then limit 2 comma 1 skips the first two results, and so on. You need to remember the first. I've never used that way. You need to remember the first number tells the database how many results you want to skip. The second number tells the database how many rows to return. So this is, okay, skip these number and give me this much information. So if I had 1, 2, it will skip the first one, give me the second and third record. So here, select star from users, limit 1. So it just gives me the first one, because this is basically like 0 comma 1, right? Do not skip anything. Lol, a real teacher moment, yeah. Lastly, we are going to utilize the where clause, right? This is how we can finally pick out the exact data require. Pauses, reading textbooks, muttering about the wrong wording is. It is, man. Like so here's the thing. SQL is like it is kind of like the most annoying languages ever, in my opinion. But this is like one of those relatives you have in life. SQL is like one of those relatives in computer science. You hate him or her, but you can't get rid of them. They are just so close in your bloodline. That's what SQL is. That, at least my relationship with SQL, because you can like write hundreds of big lines of code with SQL. I'm currently working for a company. We have at least like 15, like if I say 15 lines of just one query, and I'm glad I'm not in the backend team. I'm asking them to do this. I'm not part of it. So I just like, that's the truth. Do not, like, backend is fun as long as you're not touching database. I hate it. So, but I will tell you this, you will never use limit 1 comma 2 or 2 comma, you will use limit 1 or limit 1000 to get like 1000 records, but you never use limit 2 comma 1. Never. I have never used in my whole life. I don't even know why would somebody create this. Lastly, we are going to utilize where clause. This is how we can finally pick out the exact data we require returning. So basically, again, English, right? Without grammar. Select all the columns from user table where the username is this, right? Oh, which username you want to retrieve? Admin. Which record where the username is admin. What all columns of the username? All the columns of that row, right? Which table? Basically is that. Select all the columns from the users where the username is this. English. It's English. English without grammar, so it's hard. This will only return the rows where the username is equal to admin, but the above one, this will return where username is not equal to admin. Now, here is the question for you. Tell me the difference between let's eat grandma versus let's eat comma grandma. You see the difference why grammar is needed? You see the difference? Hello जी सतीजा जी, कुछ बोल भाई, one shout out भाई. अच्छा अरे वैभव भाई, hello brother, nice to see you. Sorry, I've been like, I do these, right? Like with the streaming, I do this, and then I have to, like I go back and forth. But yeah, I was talking about like how SQL, why I hate SQL, is just this example here. Let's there is a difference between two, right? Let's eat grandma. So first one is like you're telling, hey, let's eat the grandma. Second one is like, hey grandma, let's go eat. That's the difference between these two. And that's like basically like that's what the SQL, I hate SQL. That's the whole reason I hate SQL. Because there is no grammar, there is nothing. It's just you're trying to create a grammar for it, right? So that's what, when you're talking and you're trying to figure out what a SQL query does, or you are creating a SQL query, try to speak it with some grammar in it, and you will be able to figure it out. For example, next one, right? Here, this is not. Exclamation equal means not. First one is equal, but not equal. So here, select all the rows from user table where username is not equal to admin. Same thing. Now, select all the rows, all the columns from user where username is admin or username is John. So where admin or John, both will come, not the Martin one. So next one, select all the columns from user where username is admin and the password is same. So here, or means like either the username is admin or it is John. But next one, and means, or means like even if one of them is filled, like one of them is true, like that will pass and shown. And means both of them has to be true. So admin, username should be admin and the password should be this. It won't work if the password was, let's say, pass123. Username is admin and password is 123. It will pass 123, it won't work. This will only return the rows where the username is equal to admin and the password is equal to password, right? Using the like clause allows you to specify data that isn't an exact match, but instead either starts, contains, or ends with certain characters by choosing where to place the wildcard character represented by the percentage sign. Now here is a fun one. This percentage sign means, right, this is like a wildcard, which means the username, right? Like let's go with English. Select all columns from users where username is like A. It starts with A and it can have anything after that, right? That's percentage. And it can have, basically what this means is like the beginning character of the string of the username should be A. Rest it can be abracadabra. It can be like just A, nothing after that. Starts with A. It should start with A. Doesn't matter what happens after. It can have 0 characters or it can have anything. If we don't know the exact username, but we know the beginning is A. Yes, exactly, boss. Howdy. Nice to see you again, boss. So, next one, right, is opposite. Select all the rows. Okay, damn, I started off watching you and not knowing what the fuck is going on, but this is starting to make sense. Oh, nice. Thank God. Yeah. No, I will try to explain as much as possible, and I will show you probably like in this, so you can try with me. That's my whole goal, right? Select star from users where username like %n. Here, earlier one was the string should start with A and can have anything at the end. What does this mean? If you think about it, it should be a string which can end with anything. Okay, yes, we'll do that too today. We are just like building step by step with SQL, right? So here, this is about ending. The string should end with N. That's all. So John, admin, and Martin all have N at the end. It works for all. Next one is about percentage, like there can be anything and there can be anything in the start, anything at the end, but in the middle there should be MI. So admin has MI, there can be anything at the end and anything at the start. This returns any rows from a username containing characters MI within them. Now these are union. This is something interesting because let's say, again I was saying, right, bunch of rows, a bunch of tables connected together is called a relational database. This union command, this statement combines the results of 2 or more select statements to retrieve data. from either a single or multiple tables. So basically with this union, you can connect two tables together, and that's how you will be able to retrieve some information. The rules to this query are that the union statement must retrieve the same number of columns in each select statement. The column have to be similar data type. That's another one. So it's two, same number of columns, similar data type, and the column order has to be same. This might sound not very clear, so let's use the following analogy. Say a company wants to create a list of addresses for all customers and suppliers to post a new catalog. We have one table called customers, and the following is the content, and then other one is suppliers. So we have first one is about customers, their address and everything. Second is the supplier. Let's see, address, city, and postal code. Okay. Using the following SQL statement, we can gather the results from two tables and put them into one result set. So let me just make sure not much there. So select the name column, right here, the name, address, city, and postcode from customers, and union select company, address, city, postcode from supplier. What does that give us? So basically this is multiplying both of them technically, right? And we get Mr. John, address, city, and this. Basically, like, we just kind of multiplied this together, right? And we got like name, address. So we just created these two tables, got name of all these, got name of addresses, got name of cities, and the postcode, right? Doesn't matter if they are kind of connected in this case right now. But let's say if we had insert, the insert statement tells the database, there is another second one, not union. We made both of them join. Yeah, basically. We just had two tables, we joined them together and got the result. I thought they will at least connect something, show us some fun stuff, because we were going to advanced level, I thought, but no. I want to reach advanced level so we can do some bug bounty hacking. But let's go here. The insert statement, I will move fast if you guys want, right? And hopefully this works. Insert statement tells the database we wish to insert a new row into the table, into users. Basically, into users, users is the table name, tells the database which table we wish to insert the data into, and what we want to insert, the username and password, provides the columns that we provide, that we are providing data for, and then values. Provide the data of the previously specified column. So insert, where do we want to insert? Into the table users. What all we want to insert? We want to insert the username and password. And what should be their values? Bob and password 123. Remember, the reason we don't have to add ID, because ID is auto incremented. It is automatically done by the database. Update. The update statement tells the database we wish to update one or more rows of data within a table. You specify the table you wish to update using update percentage table name set, and then select the field or fields you wish to update as a comma separated list, such as update username, root, and password as this. Then finally similar to the select statement, you can specify exactly which rows to update using the where clause. So basically what we do with update, we update, give it the table name, users, and set what you want to, what exactly, first you tell what you want to change, right? And then tell where you want to change it. Set the username as root, where the username is admin, right? Get that row where it was admin, and password was there, and you got the password as well. Then set admin as root, and set his password as pass123. So if you see, admin is gone and there is root and this password. Last one is delete. If you have seen this meme, you will see like delete with this speed camera, right? A person has like a big statement. That is this delete statement you will see, where the person is asking to delete the whole database of all the people. So the delete statement tells the database we wish to delete one or more rows of data, apart from missing the columns you wish to return. The format of this query is very similar to select. You can specify precisely which data to delete using where clause, and the number of rows to be deleted using the limit clause. So delete from users where the username is Martin. So hey, from the table, delete from the table users wherever the usernames are username is Martin. So there can be 10. Keeps cutting out. Oh, hopefully it gets better. Is it for everyone or is just for Panda? Delete from users. So we have all the users. So here we deleted only one row where the username was Martin. Kick me out 2 times now. Oh, sorry, mate. Hopefully it gets better. You can watch the preview too, but let's get going, right? Let me know if there is anything from my side I can help. Cool. Thank you so much. And here, delete from users. Delete from skill issue. Oh, is it my skill? Delete from users. Okay, sounds good. Delete from users is basically deleting the whole table. You're not mentioning anything. It's just like select star from users. It gets all the table. Delete is replacing select star and replacing select star with delete. And because there were all the rows coming from select star, here delete is replacing all. Because no where clause has been was being used in query, all the data has been deleted and we don't have anything. I see. What is SQL statement is used to retrieve? Let me see if there is anything. Okay. What SQL statement is used to retrieve data? Answers, right? Select. This will come in handy when we start going into SQL injection. We are almost there, so that's good news. What SQL clause can be used to retrieve data from multiple tables? Answer. Awesome. Yes. Select was the first one. Here we have union. What is the last one? Give me the answer to the last one. What SQL statement is used to add data? We'll go 3, 2, 1. Let me hear it. Insert. These are basically like, good part is these are basically like verbs. Remember that. And it will make your life easy, right? But thanks for the answer. I really appreciate that. Now we are here. This is what we are here for. Our main dough, our main cookie here. What is SQL injection? What is SQL injection? The point wherein a web application using SQL can turn into SQL injection is when user provided data gets included in the SQL query. What does that mean? Is that, let's say if I want to retrieve, I'm looking for, let's say, how to say, let's say I'm a student, right? I want to retrieve the information of all the professors on the website. Now, the web application, the problem is it's not looking, sanitizing or validating my request. It's basically putting whatever the name I put into the query. What SQL injection will do is, how SQL injection happens, instead of just putting the name of the professor, I'm adding some more SQL commands and retrieving more information like their personal cell phone number, their email ID, how long they have been in school, like other stuff. That is what SQL injection is. I can add extra commands and get that information. What does it look like? Take the following scenario where you have come across on an online blog, and each blog entry has a unique ID number. So here, let me give you an example. This is my own website. This is a website I created. Here is my blog. Every blog has its number, for example, right? We came here, JavaScript, let's say. Every blog has its number, right? If there was one, like here you are seeing the name, TryHackMe JavaScript Basic Part 2. Instead of this, if it was, let's say 1, 2, 3. That's what this whole thing they're talking about. Let's say we have the blog ID number. The blog entries may be either set to public or private, depending on whether they are ready for public release. The URL for each blog entry may look like this: blog ID 1. From the URL above, you can see that the blog entry selected comes from the ID parameter in the query string. So basically, query string is ID equals 1. The web application needs to retrieve the article from the database and may use an SQL statement that looks something like following. Select star from blog where id is equal to and private 0, limit 1. What this means, right? We asked for blog which had a id 1. In the back end, it says, hey, retrieve all the data, all the columns, right, from blog table where the blog id is 1 and private is equal 0, another id, and limit 1, give only one blog out. From that, and a good example here, you see here, TryHackMe JavaScript basic part 2, right? We will change this in front of you, right? I'll copy this. You see here, page 1, blog page 1, page 2. I can change just here. I got my page 1, right? Same thing. I can do now page, let's say 3 will work or not. No, it goes back. So there is that security in place. But 2, oh, wait, never mind. Let's see here, page 2, how does it, page 2, okay. So let's see if I can go to page 3. Page 3 is not found. We didn't even have the option earlier. Here there is no option of 3, but we were able to change the query to 3 and we found there is an error we are getting. So that's what we are trying to accomplish here. So hopefully that makes sense, and I will send you the link of my own website so you can hack it. Go for it, mate. Just don't let me know if there is any issues with it. I will probably give you some chai, samosa, something as a treat for helping me find something. Let's see. We were here. Okay. So select star all this data from id equals 1 and private 0. From that, you have learned in the previous task, you should be able to work out that the SQL statement above is looking in the blog table here from an article with the ID number is 1 and the private column set to 0, which means it's able to viewed by public and limits the result to only one match. As we mentioned at the start of the task, SQL injection is introduced when, sorry fam, I would help, but internet issues, you know. Yeah, thank you. Yeah, SQL injection is introduced when user input is introduced into the database query. In this instance, the ID parameter from query string is used directly in the SQL query. So this one, where did it came from? Because we put this, technically we put it, right, when we clicked on a button and a 1, that 1 was by us. And that 1 directly is going into the SQL query, and that's the problem. Now, let's pretend the article 2 is still logged as private. So it cannot be viewed on the website. We now used, instead call the URL here. The query has changed from 1 to 2 semicolon. Semicolon means this ended. This whole statement ended, and dash dash means it's commented out. The whatever rest was there left, which was this thing, is commented out. Why we need that? Because it doesn't give the error and we are not able to retrieve our information. So comment out all the other stuff. Let's pretend the article ID is still logged as private, right? So we did this. We would then in return produce SQL statement which looks like this. And whatever here is, right, make sure here, I'll increase it, and private, this all highlighted one becomes a comment. The semicolon in the URL signifies the end of SQL statement, and the 2 dashes causes everything afterwards to be treated as a comment. Comment is ignored, right? Comment is like, hey, ignore this by the system, by the compiler, by computer. It will ignore everything in the comment. By doing this, you are just in fact running the query as this. Basically this, you don't even have to talk about this. Just ID has 2. Give me the blog where the ID is 2, which will return the article with an ID of 2, whether it is set to public or not. It's just one example of an SQL injection vulnerability of a type called in-band SQL injection, where are 3 types in total. There are 3 types in total: in-band, blind, and out of band, which we'll discuss over in the following start. So what character signifies the end of a SQL query? What does it do? Which one is it? Let me know your answers in the chat. Any answers? Remember the end of the statement. This is very important. The reason I'm focusing on this, because you will, if you don't put this semicolon at the end, this will not work. Your whole SQL injection will not work. So basically the question was, what character signifies the end of the SQL query? What I mean by that is, let's say if I want to end the SQL query here, right? I do not want the SQL database management system, right, to look at this private and stuff, right? I want it to end at 2. How will I show it? By putting a semicolon and say, hey, this statement closes here, don't even look after this. That's how it do it. This is like one entity in itself. So that's what semicolon does. What I will do, right, we will spend some time more on in-band. Why? Because I will show you another place where you can practice this. I looked at some things for you guys, so hopefully you guys like it. In-band SQL injection. In-band SQL injection is the easiest type to detect and exploit. In-band just refers to the same method of communication being used to exploit the vulnerability and also receive the results. For example, one sec. I think this one. One sec. Lads, this is not going in the other page, right? Okay, cool. We were able to get it right. Let's go back. Oh. In-band. In-band just refers to the same method. So semicolon is like, this is a single query followed by separate query. Yes. So semicolon, think about semicolon as use Kali Linux. Okay, we'll use Kali Linux for sure, wait. So I will tell you this though. For semicolon means, in English, think about it in English, semicolon means full stop. Semicolon means full stop, right? If you're writing a statement, put it as grammar again, right? Put this back in as a grammar, with grammar again, right? Hey, select me all the data from the blog where the ID was 2, full stop. Ignore the rest. Don't even read this. That's what we are telling with a comment. Or it would have said and private limit 1. It would have given error because technically syntax wise, according to SQL syntax, SQL's grammar, this is wrong. So it would have given the error for the whole thing. But here we say, hey, we don't want those grammar errors. So hey, ignore all this. Just read this sentence. Semicolon is your full stop to end a sentence. Hopefully that makes sense. Yes, I will use the Kali. I already have it open. I'm learning from yesterday's mistake and other mistakes I made. Yeah, sweet. That's good. I hope I will try to express more. So that's good. Yeah. In SQL, right, easiest way to detect in-band just refers to the same method of communication being used to exploit the vulnerability and also receive the results. For example, discovering an SQL injection vulnerability on a website page and then being able to extract data from the database on the same page. What it means. So let's say on my website, right, we have hackerspub.org blogs page 3. If page 3 was showing the information, right, if there was a SQL injection here in this page, instead of saying page not found, it would have given me some data. And that's what it means. Wherever you put on the same page of the website, we will see the data. So let's go next. Being able to extract data from the same page. Error-based SQL injection. This type of SQL injection is the most useful for easily obtaining information about the database structure, as error messages from database are printed directly to the browser screen. This can often be used to enumerate a whole database. You might be thinking like how to find the information. Let me tell you how. Let's say I have the user, right? Like if remember the example above, I have user name, password, and ID. Now I try to create a I try to create a ID or I try to create a query, but the error gave me like, hey, there is no column name pass. Then I know, okay, pass is not a column name, so there must be a different name of the column. it might be password. So I try that and it worked, that no users found. So I know password is the column, pass is not a column in the users table. Now, another one being, let's say if I want to see, hey, retrieve information where username is this and ID is this. Now it will say, hey, the ID, there is no, the table, the other table don't have this ID. So I know, okay, there is another table name is also exposed to me. And now I know, okay, I'm able to build pieces together that, okay, there is this table name is not there. So this table, let's try this table name. And with that error again and again, we are able to get some information and enumerate a whole. This is a lengthy process, but let's say if you're actually going for a big whale, this will be very helpful. Union-based SQL injection. This type of injection utilizes SQL union operator alongside a select statement to return additional results to the page. This method is the most common to extract large amount of data via SQL injection vulnerability. So basically, like how, let me give you an example. If we had a, let's say a table with the usernames, and it would be like password, it would be like authentication, like this is, no, the password is not saved in the same table as the username and their email. It would be connected to a different ID of another table called password table. That will have the hash of the passwords or the passwords, right? So we are using union to get all those mixed and get that information by matching, right? If you may. So that's how union is, basically getting all more information about a particular user or particular table and getting all them together. Practical. Click this green start machine button we already did to use the SQL injection example practice lab. Each level contains a mock browser and also SQL query and error boxes to assist in getting your query's payload correct. Level 1 of the practical lab contains a mock browser and website featuring a blog with different articles, which can be accessed by changing the ID number in the query string. Okay, contains a mock browser website featuring blog. So let's make this a bit smaller. Let's go up, show our split screen. So we can't use Kali, sorry mate. For now we can't, but yeah, I promise we will use it. So I'll make this, hopefully this is visible. So we have this, right? Website article 1 ID. My article, my first article with the article ID X. Hi and welcome to my first article for my website. SQL query is select star from article where ID is 1. What is Martin's password? So we know Martin is a person in this, right? So we want to see, okay, we have ID. Now let's go back here. The lab 1 mock website featuring a blog of different articles. This can be accessed by changing the ID number. Let's change the ID number to 2. Let's see what they want us to do. We'll do enter. ID 2, article 2. Hope you all like this website, right? Now, nothing found. So we know article is one of the passwords. One of the tables. What we can do, again, remember, right? Semicolon, we'll try to add semicolon. Select star from users. Let's see if this one will work. Hi and welcome. This one doesn't work. Okay. Let's see what they want. The key featuring the key to discovering error-based SQL injection is to break the code's SQL query by trying certain characters using until an error message is produced. They are most commonly used with this or quotation. Okay. So let's see here. One. Now, let's see. We have to basically break 0, article 0. You want ID 0. Okay. Oh, thank you so much. Thank you so much for a follow. Really appreciate it, Panda. Let's see. 0 is not found. What we want is, let's say we want to get the information out somehow. Article. Okay, let's change the article because article is also a user, right? I accidentally unfollowed. Okay, it's all good. So we have article and then follow again. Gotcha. Thank you though. Thank you for following again. So here you have article. We forgot that article is also being here. So let's see. Users URL invalid 404. Okay. URL invalid. This URL is not available. Oh, okay. Let's see. If ID is not there, we can have the person's name, Martin, right? So username. Martin. Let's see if this might work. No, because the article is not changing. Okay, so let's think of it a different way. Let's read through it a bit. Let's see. The key to discovering error-based SQL injection is to break the code SQL query by trying certain characters until an error message is produced. So our error message was something different, which we didn't get. Will this do something? Let's see. I just want to try, and this is already being produced. I want to try something, but let's see. Okay, never mind. Let's not get distracted. These are most commonly single quotes or quotation marks. Try typing an apostrophe after the ID this and press enter. You will see this returns a SQL error informing you an error of your syntax. So let's do this. Okay. Okay, we got something different. Syntax error or access violation 1064. You have an error in your SQL syntax. Check the manual that corresponds to MySQL Server version for the right syntax to use near double quotes at line 1. So we know it's using double quotes, point 1. It's using MySQL Server. Okay. So MySQL Server is being used and it's using near double quotes. There are 3 quotes. Okay, let's see if it does this. Anything happens here. There is double quotes at line 1. Okay, so this is producing it that way. If we do let's see here. This gets like blocked out. That's my question, how to escape this. So let's see. You will see this returns a SQL error informing you an error in your syntax. The fact that you have received the error message confirms the existence of SQL injection. That makes sense. We can now exploit this vulnerability and use error messages to learn more about the database structure. Okay. So now we have code. Okay. I see. So they are going to use select. Okay. The first thing we need to do is return data to the browser without displaying an error message. Firstly, we'll try the union operator so we can retrieve an extra result if we choose it. Try setting the mock browser ID parameter to 1 union select 1. Okay. Let's see this. Let's enter. I'll make sure there's no messages. Hi G, hello. Hey, Ripley. Hey mate, how you doing? Sorry, I've been trying my best to keep an eye on the chat, but let's see. Here we did 1 union select 1. Cardinality violation, the use select statement have a different number of columns. Okay. What if we do this? Union different number of columns. So if we do select, no tables used. So from, let's see, users, let's see. Will this work? Base table or view not found. Users doesn't exist. User. Okay. What will be the best way to retrieve? What do you guys think? What will be the best way to retrieve the table names? We need the table names. If we can get the table name, we can get Martin, right? How do I do this? Okay, let's see. This statement would produce an error message informing you that the union select statement has a different number of columns than this original select query. Okay. So let's try again, but add another column. Add another column to it. Okay. So 1, 2. What does this mean? 1 comma 2 comma 3. Let's see what this means. Okay, so this select statement, there are 3 columns coming back. I think that's what it means. Success, the error message has gone and the article is being displayed, but now we want to display our data instead of the article. The article is displayed because it takes the first returned result somewhere in the website's code and shows that. To get around that, we need to first query to produce no results. This can be simply done by changing the ID to 0. So if we change this to 0, okay, so we get second is the second, whatever is the second column is used as the title, article ID is the 1, and third is the content of this. That's what we get. So if we change this 0, we get 1 2 3 as back, and 2 means the title. And so now based on that information, we know the table ID, then the second is title, the third is the data inside it, right? Hopefully that makes sense. Okay, 0 select 1 2 3. You'll now see the article is just made up of the result from union select. Return the column values 1 2 3, 1 2 and 3. We can start using these returned values to retrieve more useful information. First, we'll get the database name that we have access to. So 3 will return. Okay, so we change this to database SQLi _1, but we got that information before too because we were able to change something, right? We were able to get this database thing. Okay, SQLi 1. You'll now see where 3 was previously displayed is now shows the name of the database, which is SQLi 1. Our next query will gather a list of tables that are in database. So this group concatenate table name from information scheme. Okay, I think for this we need a little bit more information on information on the. Thank you so much. It's Travis. Oh, Travis, brother, how are you? So here we replace this with group concatenate table name from information scheme dot tables, where table schema is SQLi 1. So let's do that, and we are going to use some staff users and article. So another thing I like doing here, this is where AI is very, very helpful. Explain this statement. Oh, I had forgot to put the statement. I'm sorry, guys. And I'm sorry, I'm trying to keep an eye on both the chats. It's taking some information out of me. The statement group concatenate table name, I'll increase the font, from information scheme, where this is a SQL query that concatenates the name of all tables in a specific database scheme from a single string. Here's the breakdown. So group concatenate, that's a function in MySQL or the SQL Server, whichever it was, MySQL, I think, right? This function concatenates the values from the table name column into a single string. It will combine all table names found in a specified schema. From this is the schema. This clause specifies that we are querying the tables view in the information schema database. The information schema is a database that provides metadata about MySQL Server's data. So we need some MySQL Server functions information beforehand, that this is already every time you know there is MySQL, we know this can be used. Where table name is this. So this condition filters the results to include only table names from database schema named SQLi 1. Why do I need this? I can remove it. Maybe I can get some more info, right? Let's see. It's all about breaking things into pieces. So I don't want to give the table name, right? I don't want to give this information. I don't want the where one. Let's see what this will return for us. Administrative role. Oh, wait, we have more tables. You see this? We have administrative role authorizations, applicable roles, characters, character sets, check constraints, oh boy, we need to copy this. Put it in, let me put it in Notepad. Here. Administrative role authorization, applicable roles, character sets, check constraints, collaboration, blah, 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 column names. Okay, this one here, let's put this like this, column extensions. So we have a bunch of these, but I believe bunch of these are not useful because they are not connected to our system, like what we need, right? So that's why they put that where clause, where table scheme is SQLi 1. Okay. And what that means probably is that, hey, give me all the table names that are connected to SQLi 1, which is staff, users, and article, right? Where clause, the condition filters the results to include only tables from database schema. Okay. That's what we need to look into, right? Sounds good. So we have staff users. I have the information. Now I can probably get info like select star. Let's see, select star from staff underscore users. Okay. Admin password, but ID is like different. So does this make a change? No. We have to keep it 0. Select star from staff users. Martin's password. Is Martin's password same as this? Let's see. Incorrect password. We have admin's password, which is kind of a good thing. Now let's see, select star from this where we know the second column is this. So second column, let's say user equals Martin. Could not be found column user where in the where clause. Okay. I want to know the names of the table. Let's see what this can give us about the table names. There are a couple of new things to learn in this query. Firstly, group concatenate gets the specified column, in our case table name. For multiple returned rows and inputs, it from multiple returned rows and put let me check one thing. Okay, no, I want to make sure it's like visible to you as well, but this is not the best settings for it. All good. Hopefully this is better, right? This is the best one, I guess. Gets the specified column from multiple returned rows and puts it into one single separate string separated by commas. The next thing is information schema database, where every user of the database has access to, and it contains information about all databases and tables the user has access to. In this particular query, we are interested in listing all the tables in the SQLi 1 database. So that was our database name, which is article and staff users. As the first level aims to discover Martin's password, the user staff table is what interests us. Now we have to basically find the information about that. We can utilize information schema database again to find structure of the table using the below query. So we'll use this 1, 2, and then group information. Okay, let's see. I guess it's the same, but just the staff, the table name has changed from SQLi to this, and we are getting the columns, right? So hopefully, let's see. So we have username, ID, and password. So this is hard if you are not familiar with SQL. I will say this. I am familiar with SQL. The reason we are finding it hard, right, is because MySQL, think about it this way. You understand how files, directories, folders, these things work, how browser works. But every single browser, every single operating system is kind of a little bit different, right? Mac has its own way of showing things. or like for example Google versus Firefox versus Edge, they have like a couple of different things inside them, like the name of name will change, or Android or iPhone, right? At the end of the day, those two are phones. So there are so many things you utilize. Yes, if you knew a little bit, I didn't know about MySQL like these information, but because we keep on trying, right? That's how we will find, and we'll keep a note. I use this guy, right? I use this guy to keep a note of information about these things. So now I know. Now I know. And that's why we learn, right? We don't know. I didn't know about MySQL had this information that every single user, every user of database has access to this schema. Now I know. And that's how it is, right? That's how it is. That's why I say try harder. So we both are on same level. Don't worry. And as Steve Jobs said, everything you look around yourself was made by somebody not much smarter than you. So we are at equal level, boss. Don't worry. This is similar to the previous SQL query. However, the information we want to retrieve has changed from table name to column name. So here it was columns. Before it was tables. So we are getting, instead of tables, we are getting columns, and table schema to table name. The table we are querying in the information schema database has changed from tables to columns, and we are searching for any rows where the table name column has a value of staff user. So we are trying to get whatever information, all the columns where the table name is staff users, and we got ID, password, and username. So that's good. Now let's see what next. I tried with you, I failed. Right now, let's see what they are doing. The query results provide 3 columns for staff users table: ID, password, username. We can use the username and password column for our following query. Now this will give us the answer. I don't want to try this. What I will try is this. Select star. Now I know the username is a column from staff underscore users where username equals Martin. Now if Martin is not returned, that's fine too. Okay, hey, we got the information. Password, right? And that's what hacking is all about, finding creative ways. So we don't even have to use this big ass query, right? Another thing I will tell you. Oh, we came to the next level. No. Another thing I will tell you here. We go 0. We go union. Select. Now here is the question. Let's say if his name was actually not Martin in the password. Using the like one, what you can type. Whatever you type, I will type here. And let's see if you are able to like get that information. It has to be using like. What I mean is select star from staff users. Like. What should be the next command? Take a second. Give me the answer. I will love to put that answer. That's how you learn. Right? Howdy, bro. Oh, I should have put Travis 1 too. Okay. All good. But yeah. What do you think should be the like one? If you're not able to, that's fine, right? Let me give you the answer. Like, quotes, M. Thinking of, let's say it has M, right, in the start. It can be Martinelli or Mars or something, whatever, right? Martinelius. Like, for example, Rob might have Robert. When we did the previous one, it has to match Martin. If, let's say, the person said, what is the user Rob's password, instead of that the actual name was Robert, we would have done this, and maybe would have got it. Oh wait, syntax error, access violation, you have error, blah blah blah. Let's see. That's fine. Does this work? Hey, this doesn't work. This is fine too. This is fine. Why it's not working? Near like this add line. Okay, so what if we do this? Syntax error accessed. You have error in your SQL query. Check the manual to correspond to my SQL Server version to the right syntax. Okay. So let's go up. And this is learning, right? Again, I have failed in front of you. Don't worry. I will fail a billion more times. Let's see. Like one. What is equal? Right? This is how we do like. Oh, where username like. It has to be where username like. Sorry. Where username like this. Okay, let's see here. Oh, we got it. See, I failed in front of you, but we learned. We got it. Where username like. I forgot the where username. I was too high. I'm joking. I never do anything. But yeah, now we have the answer, and that's how we learn. Boom, boom. Good job. I am Lightning McQueen. No. Yeah. Where are we? So let's start with this one as well, the one they wanted us to try and see how things go. And trust me, mate, like the only reason I'm successful, I failed more. Okay, here is something. Username, pass, right? Let's go over here. Group concatenate username, quotes, password separated by BR. BR is like in HTML, so that it's on the next line from staff member. So whatever we see, break based on the next line. So let's go here. So we get all the passwords. We have admin password, we have Martin's password, and Jim's password. The reason they are in separate lines because of this BR break or next line, right? In your HTML. Again, we use the group concatenate method to return all the rows into one string and make it easier to read. We have also added the basically the, I forgot what it's called. My brain. A colon. Yeah, that's semicolon. This is proper colon. To split the username and password from each other, instead of being separated by a comma, we have chosen the HTML BR tag that forces each result to be in a separate line for making it easier to read. So if, let's say I change BR with like, let's say 2 BRs, you will see the difference now. You see there are 2 gaps. So BR meant next line, 2 BRs means next line, so 2 lines. You should now have access to Martin's password, enter and move to the next level. Flag for completing level 1. So let's see what was the flag for completing level 1. I didn't even check it. Where's the flag? Oh, here. Injection, SQL Injection 3840. I'll give it to you guys. Hopefully that was fun, right? Learning about this. Because I'm going to fail in front of you. I'm going to try things, right? Hopefully this, you guys also get motivated from me. You are a good tracks teacher, yeah. Blind SQLi, right? Let me, drink some water. But before moving to the next one, blind SQLi, before moving here, we were in in-band SQLi. Here is a couple of other places you can port Swinger, in-band SQLi. This is another one. I think we can try this because they also, Portswinger is a great website for these stuff too. They have their own attacks. They mention every single thing. Failing and learning from it is infinitely more impressive than being perfect at it first try. To be, yeah, 100% boss, 100%. And like I will tell you one thing, as an adult, I wish as a child I knew this more. But like failing is the best thing, right? It's 100%. So that's a great line, 100%. And everything. Also, it's more organic for us noobs who are going to definitely be making these mistakes, 100%. And I will tell you this, we just don't know how many, like not even noobs, even professionals make mistakes. There is this saying like number of times, like number of businesses Amazon has created. Like if you actually like look at the number of businesses Amazon created and failed, it's like almost at 90% compared to the 10 ones succeeded, and those 10 that make Amazon, right? There were so many of these. Illuminati, yeah. Yeah, like that's the whole game, right? It's so fun to try these things, right? Let's search. One thing I will tell you, Amazon number, Amazon, Google is a great example, right? Claim that high percentage of Amazon business fail, including 90-80%, whatever. And even, for example, Apple car, they spent $10 billion on this. They have worked 10 years on this. It didn't work out. Google, Yahoo, right? Like Google could have made a mistake of being sold to Yahoo, right? Apple failed, right? So it's okay to fail. It's the best thing to fail. Is the best thing. You're trying better than others, right? A lot of people are just like not doing. Corey, my brother, what's up? Apple car, Apple pen. Let's see, Apple pen. I don't know. Apple pencil. This still works. Why Apple pen? Apple pencil is still sold. Is there something different? Oh, that's something different. Okay, my bad. So again, sorry, I got carried away. But here is this something we can do next time. Corey, mate, how you doing, boss? Corey is somebody from another great stream. He's here after I requested him to join my stream. So thank you so much for joining, bro. Woke up and it's almost midnight. Cheers, buddy. Cheers, mate. Cheers. It's so nice to see so many people here messaging. I like it. This is fun. It's fun. It's fun. I like it. Oh, yeah. Sorry. Go back to what we were talking about, right? SQLi. So SportsSwinger, just like TryHackMe, SportsSwinger has its own labs too. Again, they are free for everyone to use. These are mostly about web vulnerabilities. Yeah. But yeah, so these vulnerabilities, right? Command injection, SQL, NoSQL injection are also there. You can look at these. SQL injection is their biggest here in this one. They have all the union attacks, blind injection attacks. What if we can do on Saturday? If we are, we can try these after we are done, or Sunday maybe. Let's try these. Instead of TryHackMe, let's make some change, because we will be able to complete our SQL injection on Saturday, right? It's a big long stream tomorrow. Do you want me to do a stream tomorrow? Let me know, because on Friday a lot of people like are busy with the parties and stuff, like they want to relax. So if you want me to do a stream tomorrow as well, yeah, you want me to? Okay, I'll be there tomorrow as well. Sounds good, boss. I will be there. Same timing then. Thank you so much. I got a friend who is teaching herself programming from scratch. Her sleep schedule seems to match Corey. Yeah. Programming from scratch. If you want to learn that too, I will get an Indian dude on YouTube. So that's the best way. But yeah, given that, right? SQL injection, what we are talking about, I probably will start. If you guys want me to do SportsSwinger versus this, can I do poll on here? We can check that. How to do poll? And you are also on YouTube. Oh yes, I'm also on YouTube. Sorry, I forgot. I type how to do poll. Anybody know how to do poll? No, pin. You are the Indian dude. I'm gonna recommend you to her. Yes, 100%. SportsSwinger is really good, but yeah, SportsSwinger is great. I will tell you my goal right here for bug bounty. If you, as some of you are really interested in this, we are done with our intro to web hacking almost. After SQL injection, this is our last one, 61% done. Once we do this, the next one is Burp Suite. Once we learn Burp Suite, I will tell you this, you are almost at the level. You can go to HackerOne here and start with some bug bounty activities. Create your own bug bounty, like a hacker login. start trying to go for some of the companies and look for that. Here is another big thing. If you are even able to like not make some money but able to find some vulnerability, you can put that in your resume on your GitHub or anywhere you like, LinkedIn, and show that off, because that is what people, good people, some smart, not the HR I'm talking about, like the actually smart tech people will be able to see and say, oh, he's doing something else on the side, this is the smart guy we need. So those are the things, right? Like if you're into job search, I will probably come with a job search presentation too over the weekend, but here is it. Gives you a solid base. Yes, TryHackMe does. My cat says hi also, buddy. Hey, buddy. I love cats too. Yeah. So here's the thing, right? HackerOne, go on HackerOne, create your own. They also have this. But once we are done with SQL injection and with Burp Suite, probably in 2 weeks, we are going to kill at the bug bounty. We can start bug bounty, and I will promise you, every time I do bug bounty, I'm going to, for this whole year, going to be online while trying to hack. And there are companies, good companies here, just letting you know. These companies are like the ones you might have heard of: PayPal, Nintendo. I know Tesla is also there, Zoom, GM, Hyatt, Snapchat. So these companies are there, and you can go for it, right? You guys can learn from here. And Port Swinger is another one to test your Burp Suite stuff. But here, that's all we are going to do. We are going to keep on going, trying harder to get bug bounty, because I hate my job. I don't know if you guys love it. I hate my full-time job. I want to get into bug bounty. At least get some money, right? I don't want to die poor. And if I make some good money from bug bounty, I'm going to give majority of it away to you guys, because I just need a little bit. So stay tuned. But have you tried doing bug? I did got into I will say a year ago, but I was like did very minimal stuff. I was not aware of Burp Suite because I was more of a command line guy. I was doing curl. I was making curl commands, trying to go through a terminal. I was not aware of Burp Suite. That's where I got a bit the knowledge of Burp Suite on these port swingers and stuff by looking at YouTube videos, right? Learned that basics and tried to do it. Of course, on the main website, those things didn't work, but at least I was happy that I tried. And another thing, if you want to get motivated, how I got to know about Burp Suite and everything, and how I got to HackerOne interview. You guys can see, right? It's on my search. This playlist is gold. This playlist is gold. Yeah, I always go. That's how I got it. And I started looking into these, and like everyone basically just uses these Burp Suite and stuff. Oh, what is error here? Here, sweet. So hopefully this works, right? These, look at these if in your free time, right? And you will, then we understand manual testing is, 100% boss, 100%. Because as I am a full stack developer for a very big retail chain store, probably, I don't know if I can say that. I don't think so. I want to say the name right now, but it's like top 2-3, that level. I know we do testing for sure of our web applications, but all our manual test, automated testing using frameworks like Jest and all those stuff. And I do mostly front end. I don't touch back end, so I don't know what testing they are doing. Now, yeah, that's how life is, mate. But that's good, right? Like that's how we hang out, learn, and enjoy together. And then I will say this thing again. They do all automated, and once you become like you will learn from me, right? Like I'm coming from a developer mentality. You will see, that's awesome. I'm very happy. I love when somebody says they're learning. I'm happy I can bring something to the table. I'm being a teacher. I wanted a mentor for cybersecurity, tried a lot, almost got hated by a bunch of professors, but I'm happy I'm able to do what I could not get for myself. So thank you so much. That makes my day. Yeah, so hopefully we learn something right together, and let's get back into our stuff. So we have to complete our SQLi again. Nice. That's awesome. I'm so thankful, right? This is good life. This is a good life. You guys made me emotional, boss. Yeah. It is sentimental, man. Like those were hard times, especially like because I was an immigrant to Canada. Wasn't taken much seriously. No, I think people didn't just like the idea of cybersecurity or hacking. I think. Oh, we had this. Let's go here. Let's go to our previous one. Let's hack here. So 0. We had union select star from staff underscore users where username like m percentage, what was it, password, like this. Okay, got it. Sorry, this got disconnected, so I had to type this again. Cool. We have our stuff, right? Let's go back into task 6, blind SQLi authentication bypass. Blind SQLi. Let's should we just close this? Okay, how big is this? Okay, let's keep it on. Blind SQLi. Unlike in-band SQL injection, where we can see the results of our attack directly on the screen, blind SQLi is when we get little to no feedback to confirm whether our injected queries were in fact successful or not. This is because the error messages has been disabled. When the injection still works regardless, it might surprise you that all we need is that little bit of feedback to successfully enumerate our whole database. What this means here, let me give you a better example. You went to my website, right? Hackers Pub, blog, blog 2, was that a thing? No. It was blog, page 1, page 2, page 3, right? Here. Now, the error is not shown here, right? So if there might be something, let's say you do a query, right? Select something, blah, blah, blah. You were able to type, right? Get something, but there was no feedback here. That is blind SQLi. The SQL injection might have worked, but because of the 4-page error, the no error messages should be shown. That setting, you cannot see what's going on in the background, but it might have worked. So that's what it means. You might not be able to see the error of the SQL injection you created. Yeah, I can be hacked. Nothing is safe, boss. This is my one advice to you, like Hackers Pub, if you see at the bottom, nothing is safe. Not even this website. And that's how we learn. You hack me, I learn something, it's fun. So, and there is ways to hack me. I will tell you right now. I know one or two. So you guys can use that as a fun thing, project for yourself. Feel free. Let's go back. Unlike in-band SQL where we have but injection still works regardless. It might surprise you that all we need is a little bit of feedback to successfully enumerate a whole database. Just little. Authentication bypass. One of the most straightforward blind SQL injection techniques is when bypassing authentication methods such as login forms. In this instance, we aren't that interested in retrieving data from the database. We just want to get past the login, right? Basically what you're saying, hey, I want to, like, we have this login form. We don't know the username or password. We just want to get bypass that, right? We don't know if it will work. We can't see anything. Let's see. Login forms that are connected to a database of users are often developed in such a way that the web application isn't interested in the content of the username and password, but more in whether the two make a matching pair in the user's table. In Basic terms, the web application is making the database. Do you have a user with the username Bob and the password Bob123? So basically, if we type Bob and Bob123, do we have this user or not? Right? That's what the websites want to know. The database replies with either yes or no, true or false, and depending on that answer dictates whether the web application lets you proceed or not. Taking the above information into account is unnecessary to enumerate a valid username password pair. We just need to create a database query that relies with a yes or true. Okay, wait. The database replies with either yes or no, and depending on the answer dictates whether the web application lets you proceed or not. Yes. Taking the above information account is unnecessary to enumerate a valid pair. We just need to create a database query that relies with yes or true. What this means, right? Let me explain you. Either we can look for every single username pair, like brute force attack it, or we can manipulate this query, what you see here, in such a way that it will return true to the website. Irrespective of what we enter, it should return true. If it returns true, we are able to log into the next page. That's the whole point. There are ways, I know that. That was my first SQL injection I ever tried, was this. Then level 2 of the SQL injection examples shows this exact example. We can see the box labeled SQL query that the query to the database is following. Select star from users, right? Select all the columns from users where username is this and password is this and limit 1. Okay. NB the use. What is NB? What is this? Abbreviation meaning. Note, pay attention. Okay. Interesting. I don't know. Note, the username and password values are taken from login form fields. The initial values in the SQL query box will be in the blank as the field and the fields are currently empty. Okay. So let's see here. This is like quotes, right? Now I will give you something fun. This is my field. I will type Bob, right? I will type Bob123 as well. Let's take this whole thing into the notepad. We have this thing, right? What we want to do, we want it to return 1. How can I do it? And I will tell you this, right? What is the value? What is the answer? If time for fun, some stuff. Yeah, 100%. Let me ask you this. If I ask you true or false, reply to me in true or false. Is this true? Is 1 equal to 1? Is 1 equal to 1? We are going to try. I don't know it will work. Maybe it will work. T, right? True. Exactly. This 1 equals to 1, right? 2 equals 2. Can't we add something, right? What should I do so that this becomes something that uses this query, which is true? Add here somewhere that it becomes true. I will say enter this, and this is reverse engineering right here. This is the thing. I want this. And 1, sorry, or let's see if this will work. What is this? This is the query we will add to see if or will work, right? And let's see. Yeah, basically let's see. I don't know if this will work or not, but it has worked in one of the things I tried once. We got some syntax error, which is good. Here, syntax error or access violation. You have an error in your syntax. Check the manual that correspond to MySQL Server version with the right syntax to use. Near this. 2 semicolons used. Okay, yes. Let's see. Oh, I don't even need, maybe. Let's see this. Oh. Let's see. This one, like this. Semicolon, I don't think it's talking about the string. How to think about it? Because we know this is becoming this anyways. So let's see here. Bob. This is becoming this. I want to see if this changes, right? I think the one you said I tried, right? I didn't miss that one. This is becoming this. Oh, Bob is already, so I don't even have to enter this. What I have to enter is or 1 equals 1. Oh, no, wait. I have to enter this because this will become that. How to see? Yeah, extra 1. I was thinking like 2 because this is what I enter, right? This. I entered this. This came out of here, just like our previous one. And we need here, everything becomes a comment. No, this didn't work. So what should we do? Where username is Bob, let's try to add this here. Bob. And let's change everything to here. Do you think this will do something? Syntax, right? Syntax error. Well, I don't even want to enter this. Check the manual corresponds to MySQL. Near here, we are making some kind of a wrong thing. Okay, let's read. Let's see what might mean. Values are taken from this, right? Initial value SQL query box. To make this into a query that always runs as true. Oh, I did 1 equal 1. My bad. I was doing programming stuff. Sorry. So 1 equal 1. Let's see. Let's see if this will work. Did it work? 1 equal 1. Nope. Let's see. We did quote. We did or. We did had. Does it have to be in the password? No. Wait, something happened, right? We didn't get anything. You bypassed the login. So that's good. Hey, we were there. What we did wrong? Let's see. So to make this query always return, we can enter the following thing. Quote or 1 equal 1. The biggest problem was because I was thinking of programming ways where it is always double equals. In SQL, just 1 equal. So let's try our theory again with the password one. No, I want to stay on level 2. Here, Bob. We entered Bob. We entered Bob 1, 2, 3. And we entered our query. So here it becomes Bob 1, 2, 3, whatever, or this. Oh, it worked. It worked. Nice. Yeah, feel free to let me know on Discord if you have any questions for me or if you need any help, suggestions, feel free. I'm happy to chat. So hey, we worked. So that one worked. The only problem was instead of equal, it should be equal. That was my mistake. Which turns the SQL query into the following. Select star from users where username is this and password. We don't even have to type Bob. Or 1 equals 1. So what it returns basically either this is true. Here. This gets divided into 2 parts. The SQL query divides into 2 parts. First part. Right? And this after or, this becomes the second part. And if one of them is true, it will let us log in. Doesn't matter about this. This one was true. Right? Or one of them has to be true. It will become true. and both of them have to be, this is true and this is true, then only the whole thing will come true. This or this, hey, I want ice cream or pizza, one of the thing. When your girlfriend says either I want ice cream or pizza, just one of the things, or when your girlfriend say, hey, I want ice cream and pizza, you need both of the things. Remember that. Because life lesson, because 1 equal 1 is true statement and we have used an or operator, this always causes the query to return as true, which satisfies the web application logic that the database found a valid username password combination and the access was allowed. So basically, according to the website, is like, oh, this was true, game as true, right? Yeah, I did. I'm sharing some personal experiences. Hopefully you become wise from my problems. But here, I will tell you some. Oh, just funny things, like boys thing, boss. Just personal fun things. Given that, let's move to the next one. Given this password, right? Instead of or, right, we had this as our query. Colon this. Here, we had this, right? Into C. Panda is not happy with that. Yeah, sorry about that, Panda. But see here, this query, right? This one lets us log in. But if we change our or to and, what will happen? Let's see. Will this let us log in? No results found, right? With this and being converted to or, we need or. Remember that, right? Same thing, just and or, we got it. So let's go to level 3. Taken equals true. Oh wait, SQL injection 9581. I want to see the meaning of these numbers actually. What is 9581? This helps me recall the things I studied really well. It's like triggers my memory instantly. Yes. Yeah. That's how it is, right? These ways are so good of like learning, like doing and learning is so much fun, right? But I want to see what 9581 means. What is the meaning of that? What is 9581? They just all talk about this, and there is maybe no significance. Let's see. Maybe no significance. I was just overthinking. SQL, maybe SQL 9581. Dtrace probes, no. Lock tables ignored after. SQL error, maybe. Oh, 9581 software support engineer. Oh, this is just job, I will say. All good, never mind. But yeah, let's go back to our main thing. But I guess that's, yeah. So this is kind of getting a bit late for me because I haven't had dinner yet. It's 11 p.m. So for now, it was a great session, right? We did like 6 tasks. So let's do another. I'm going to start again, right? Tomorrow, 9 p.m. EST. We will complete the whole SQL injection. Then we will program. Either we will look to what next thing we will do. Like on Saturday, either we can do a hacking. Like we'll take this. Let me close this whole thing and terminate. So here's 2 things we can do. You guys, I'm open to all the suggestions. Either I can have a proper presentation made for you guys, where how to get a job in IT, or generally how to like approach this job market, what are the resources you have and how I can help you, what I learned from my search. Point 1. Point 2, we can either do that or we can look at these practice ones and we can start hacking together, right? These practice are basically, if you don't know, these are actual machines where I just have to like it's all about hacking. We can like look at whichever one you guys want, right? First difficulty has to be easy because I'm new as well. We can look into web, some of the web ones, and start going from that. Or we can look at anything you like, and I'm down to work hard on this. And the good part is Saturday, Sunday is like long 2.5 hour streams, 3 hour streams. So we can go hard and we can like try as much as possible. Like we can do cross-site scripting, which is a fun one. And that's it. Yeah, like those two things. Remember, don't let anybody steal your cookie. We haven't done OVAP's top 10 yet. Yes, we have not done that. We can look into that if you like. Or, because the reason I was thinking, there is this something, I don't know if you know about this, there is something called Juicebox. Have you guys heard of Juicebox? OVAP's Juicebox? Give me a like if you do. Nope. Anybody has heard it? Or no, for everyone? Nope. Okay, you guys are in for a treat then. OVAPs, that's my whole game with after if I do Bursary, but like even with Intro to Web Hack, right? That is a good one to go. I always wanted to hack this. OVAPs Juice Shop. This is a project made by OVAPs, which contains OVAPs top 10 vulnerabilities, right? This is an app. And we have like all those challenges, right? Which are in the top 10 challenges like cross-site scripting, SSRF. And this contains all those issues, and we have to keep on finding flags and go forward with it. Good part is it's all open source, so you can go on GitHub, or you can just use a Docker image to spin it up and do it on your own. Here is the link. Yeah, it's pretty good. It's pretty good. And I've heard a lot of people, if you want to get into bug bounty, this is a great place to test the waters. And this is also, best part is this is available on our TryHackMe, a good old TryHackMe. Let me just go here. Search OVAPs Juice Shop. Oh, here we have. This contains all those OVAPs top 10 vulnerabilities, free Burp Suite room. So the reason I want to do it maybe in 2 weeks is because we need Burp Suite knowledge. I want to teach and also learn myself Burp Suite. We have injection, broken authentication, sensitive data exposure, broken access control, and cross-site scripting. And all these require a flag. So we can do this together. And I am getting goosebumps talking about this, but like this is going to be such a fun one to do. This will take some time, but this here will show us how much we are ready to get into the bug bounty, how much like what all we are missing from the mindset or the skills perspective. So that's what I want to do in future, in like by the end January, hopefully. That's what I'm saving for later. And it says 120 minutes. So you know, like if this says 2 hours, you know it can take 3 or 4. So it can take our whole weekend, and I'm down to go for it. But before that, I want to go with like some kind of XSS, some kind of cross-site scripting like DOM-based attacks and all those tomorrow. Oh, sorry, on the weekend. So let me know if you find something fun one. If not, I'll do some research as well to see if we can do something which is beginner friendly and we can try with ourselves. Okay. But till then, thank you so much. Right. This was the best day I ever had. I'm getting emotional, but thank you so much. So like, you guys did so much, so many messages, so many follows. So thank you so much. I really appreciate it. See you tomorrow, 9 p.m. PST. Feel free. You have the Discord chat, right? If you look at the Discord, right, there is this command I added, and I will be adding more commands as we go. But you can contact me on Discord, or anywhere, any of the social medias. My name is Censored Hacker on all of the socials. Soon I will changing this one to be Censored Hacker in 2 days on the weekend. But yeah, anywhere you see Twitter, Instagram, Discord, you have it, right? Feel free to text me. I would love to help you out in any way possible. But till then, this was your favorite friendly neighborhood hacker, Gaurav Satija, Hackers Pub or Censored Hacker. Have a great day. Keep grinding. I'll see you tomorrow. Bye.